the Matrix has you. Now, the Matrix to me is a simple metaphor. I don't actually believe that we're living in a computer simulation, and even if we are, I don't think that it matters. But what does matter is your entire life is being lived by your brain. Now, what do I mean by that? If you know a guy named David Eagleman, he wrote a book called Incognito. In the book Incognito, he makes one thing abundantly clear. You live in a virtual environment, whether you realize it or not. That virtual environment is created by the 3 pounds of squishy material between your ears. Think about this. Your brain never touches light. Your brain is encased in a bone box in total darkness, and yet it takes photons that fall on the eye and turns it into electrochemical stimulus, and from that it paints this environment. It fakes the sense of depth. Think about this for a second. There's not some little image of this room projected into the back of my mind. This is all being turned into electrochemical stimulus, and my brain then manufactures this environment. There's actually a dime spot blank part in your field of vision where each optic nerve connects to your eyes, and yet you have no experience of it. That is completely invisible to you, even though it's massive and it's dead center in your eyes. The reason that you don't experience it is because your brain fills it in. Your brain makes a guess as to what would be there, and your brain is so good at guessing and so good at presenting it as if it were real that you have no sense. It is completely seamless to you. When I heard that, I remember getting the chills and setting the book down and saying, my brain is lying to me. That rat. Now, the question becomes, if this is all made up, if the sense of distance between you and I is completely manufactured by my brain and it's not real, meaning what I see of it, it's real enough in that if I walk, I'll hit you at about the point that I'm expecting to bump into you because my brain can create that sense of distance. But it's doing it by translating those signals. It's manufacturing this space. So if that's true, and my brain fills in the gaps, does my brain also have biases? And the answer is yes. Neuroscience has gone deep into how many different biases that we have as humans. I'll give you one because this one is profoundly impactful. You're more likely to believe something negative than you are something positive. Now think about how that can echo through your life. Each of us has to realize that all of the beliefs that we have in our life are choices. The scary part about the most important beliefs in your life is most of them are invisible. I'm going to give you a couple questions that will highlight invisible beliefs that you have that are controlling your life, that are exactly why I say the Matrix has you, because depending on how you answer these questions will determine your life. And if you don't recognize something scary in your own answers, think about the people that you love, that you want to help and you can't, and you wonder why. The answer is almost certainly related to how they answer some of these questions. Number one, this comes from Einstein. He said, the most important decision any human being must make is whether or not you live in a friendly or a hostile universe. Now, he could have said realization, but he didn't. He said decision. You have to decide, because there is no empirical truth. You don't live in either a friendly or a hostile universe. You decide, and that perception, that viewpoint from which you judge everything else that happens in your life will be colored by whether or not you think it is a universe that is working for you or against you. And it's a choice. But most people think of their viewpoint as being patently real, as being just objective and true. And so they never stop to question the fact that they actually decided that at some point, either because their parents acted in accordance with that it was either hostile or friendly, and they just absorbed that, or their friends or the people that they work with or whatever. But somewhere along the line, they came to believe that they live in either a friendly or a hostile universe. But you could change right now. Right now, you could make a different decision. And if you believe that the world is working against you right now, you could choose to believe that it's actually working for you. And in making a fundamentally new and different assumption, it empowers you to move forward, and this is something that I will repeat in this talk. The reason that matters is human beings do not invest energy in things that they don't think will yield a result.